Hi, everybody. It's Danielle here from Teaching Well, and I'm so excited to be here today. Today, I'm going to give you 4 self-care hacks for teachers so that we can start doing some self-care during this difficult time of year. We're headed into close to summer break. Maybe some of us just got done with spring break or are starting that, but April and May can prove to be a little challenging. However, there might be some light at the end of your tunnel that will provide you with some extra oomph and excitement for doing these self-care hacks. So let's get started. My name is Danielle Neufer, and I am the founder of Teaching Well. And just to give you a little bit of background, I'm a teacher wellness coach. And what I try to do is to get people to, or teachers specifically, to take care of themselves, help them take care of themselves so that they can be their best both inside and outside the classroom. And I'm a 16-year veteran teacher, and I wrote something earlier today that I just want to read because I think it's important about the mission of Teaching Well. Our education system is absolutely broken, especially if we're talking about people in the United States, which is primarily who I'm talking to. And you may be wondering why you're even doing this job. I hear that a lot from teachers. So let me remind you that you probably dreamt of being a teacher. You probably dreamt of that when you were growing up, that you wanted to be a teacher. So just because the system is currently broken doesn't mean you have to feel broken day in and day out. And that's really what my mission is to help teachers feel whole again and get a sense of wellness despite our system being broken, because the only way we can fix our education system is to fix and heal ourselves. So that's just kind of my mission, and something I wrote today that I really wanted to share. So let's get into the self-care hacks. So self-care hack number 1 is to simplify. So self-care does not need to be, getting a babysitter and doing a whole girl weekend away, or doing something that causes you to have to schedule all these things that cause even more stress to begin with. Self-care can simply be something simple that you do for yourself. It doesn't need to be a large-scale event. Some ideas could be to take a walk by yourself, take a quick nap. And I wrote, even if it's in your car. I used to do that from time to time because I needed a nap. I needed a 15, 20-minute power nap, or just enjoying a quiet cup of coffee by yourself. It's not always the act, it's the intention behind it. So I used to think that self-care had to be tremendously like a big production, and it doesn't. It just needs to be something you do with intention. So I want to just offer that first self-care hack is to give yourself permission that it doesn't need to be this big grand thing. It could simply be taking a moment at the end of your school day to just shut your lights off in your classroom so people don't bother you, and listen to your favorite song, or drive home a different way that's a really scenic way instead of the quickest way home. So these are things that you're doing anyway, but they are things that you are doing for yourself that, will lend themselves to nurturing yourself a little bit when other people can't do it. Remember, the definition of self-care are things that you can do for yourself that no one else can do for you. Okay, so number 1 is personalize. Number 1 is simplify, excuse me. Number 2 is personalize. So self-care is really an individualized act. Something that is really going to care for my soul, you might think is totally ridiculous. So I really enjoy running, and some people might say, oh, I hate running. But maybe you enjoy knitting, and I don't know how to knit, although I'd like to learn. So you want to find that thing that really fits for you. I will say, some of the teachers that I work with, one that was really that sticks with me right now she loved to do puzzles. So when we were going over some things in the course I was teaching, she was talking about how excited she was to get home to do a puzzle every day. And that was kind of her act of self-care. And I had never even thought about doing a puzzle as an act of self-care. So, it needs to be for you. So don't ask for permission. It's definitely an individualized, personalized thing. So the first step, or the first hack, is simplify. And the second hack is to personalize these acts of self-care. So if you're feeling like, you really are just kind of lost and need some more guidance with coming up with your own list or your ways to integrate self-care, I'm going to leave a link at the bottom of this video that is going to be a link for 4 simple stress solutions that reduce, let me say that again. 4 simple stress solutions that reduce teacher burnout and increase well-being and self-care in only 5 minutes a day. So there is a free offer that will kind of guide you toward self-care things that will take less than 5 minutes. So if you really just need some direction, that is a perfect place to start. All right, so on with our self-care hacks. So again, we have simplify, personalize, and the third one is to savor. And a lot of times people think of savoring when they think of food. So that is a great place to start with savoring. But savoring can go beyond just, I guess, savoring could entail your 5 senses. So anything that really activates your 5 senses is what you do when you savor something. So when you're going out of your way to personalize and simplify these acts of self-care, really allow yourself to savor and enjoy it. So that might mean you need to turn your phone off, or again, lock a door, shut the blinds, turn the music up, whatever it is, to just be with that thing. There's nothing worse than trying to take the time for yourself. So say you're going out for a walk or you're running, and that's the self-care that you're looking at. And, that's the self-care piece that you're looking at, and your phone rings and you don't have time to really enjoy that moment that you set aside for yourself. So turn off the distractions and savor that moment that you're putting aside for yourself. You'll really remember them a lot more. So the more you use your 5 senses to savor the self-care that you have set aside for yourself, you're really going to remember it, and that'll be easier the next time you want to implement this self-care. So I had written down here: smell the flowers on your walk, hear the birds chirping, see the luscious green of the forest, touch the cold water flowing down the stream, taste the wild raspberries. Become a part of the experience that you're putting aside for yourself. So if we talk about that, driving a different way home, really, now of course pay attention to where you're driving, but really just immerse yourself, turn off the radio, just really be with what you're doing. And that will definitely make a huge difference in, you repeating this, which is the 4th hack. So repeat. So we had simplify, we had personalize, we had savor, and the 4th one, the 4th self-care hack, is to repeat. And the repeat is basically do what works. So often we put pressure on ourselves to do something again and again and again and differently and more and more and more. And, what I invite you to do is to keep it simple so that you can repeat these things that you really enjoy. The more you repeat a habit, or the more you repeat something that you do, the more it becomes a habit. So that can be a really good thing, and that could be a really not so good thing. So when we're talking about self-care and we're being really deliberate, we're personalizing, we're simplifying, we're savoring this moment, you are setting yourself up to create a habit in your life that you want to do over and over again. So that's the key, is to create this thing that you can easily repeat. creating a schedule each week where on Friday you do this thing, is whatever it is a really easy way to create self-care routines, which again, the more and more we do these things, the easier they become. The more and more we do these things, the more whole we feel, and the better we show up in our lives, in our classrooms, for our students, for our world, and that's so important. So the 4 self-care hacks for today are to simplify the actual self-care, whatever it is, keep it simple, personalize it, make it something that you really love, savor it, use your 5 senses to really enjoy that time, and repeat. So do it again so it becomes part of who you are. I read a really great book recently called Atomic Habits. Awesome book. And in it, he talks about reframing the way that we look at ourselves. So instead of saying like, I run, I would say I'm a runner. So, start to reframe the way you think about the things that you're doing. So instead of saying, I meditate, you call yourself a meditator. You call yourself that by those titles, and then you become those things. So, the more that you can do that, the more, the easier it will be to repeat these actions. Okay, so those are my 4 self-care hacks for teachers. If you're wanting a little more support, feel overwhelmed with how to even begin, I would love to help you along your way. Again, my name is Danielle. I'm a teacher wellness coach with the organization Teaching Well. And if you are looking for a little bit more support, click on the link below, and it will take you to 4 simple ways to add moments of self-care in your school day so that you can easily increase well-being and decrease feelings of burnout in only 5 minutes a day. We all probably have 5 minutes a day, and I would definitely encourage you to start using some of those 5 minutes for yourself. You definitely deserve it. So that's my little video for this week. I look forward to talking with you soon and seeing you again on a Facebook Live. Please, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below, and we will be sure to answer them as they come in. All right, thank you, and to Teaching Well. Bye-bye.